Welcome to the Northern Sierra of Oaxaca, and in this episode in particular, to the town of Capulalpam. Located in the mountains about an hour and a half from Oaxaca City, this Pueblo Mágico was the next stop on my road trip from Veracruz to Oaxaca. After leaving Mil Islas bright and early, we stopped for coffee in the village of San Juan Atepec, well known for its coffee. We just stopped at this incredible place to have a coffee, and the view is amazing. This is the sort of stuff that people travel to Costa Rica for, right? And we're here in Oaxaca State, only about 3 hours from Veracruz, a couple hours from Oaxaca City. We're about to head up into the mountains. You can't really see them, but up there. It's so beautiful. It's just the sound of this river. So lush. Look at this. This whole place is free to visit. This is the last town on this side of the mountains before you head deep into the northern Sierras here in Oaxaca. I could stay here all day, but we're heading to Pueblo Mágico up in the mountains here in Oaxaca. And if it looks anything like this, it's gonna be a pretty special place to stay. We wound our way through the mountains on a very windy road, stopping to take a breather and for a stunning viewpoint before finally arriving in Capulalpam in time for a late lunch. Chicken in mole amarillo and a side of cooked jalapenos and onions, all with handmade tortillas and rice. That evening, I watched the sunset, did a little artisan shopping, and then went hiking into the woods and enjoyed tamales by the campfire. It was exactly the solitude and peace that I had hoped to find here in the mountains of Oaxaca. Good morning from a very quiet and peaceful Calalpan. I slept like a rock last night in our very quiet cabin. It's so beautiful here. Just packing up to not leave town, but we're checking out of the hotel. And we're going to spend the day around Calalpam with an M. Definitely at altitude up here. Over 1,700 meters, I believe. We're going to see a type of deer that's local to this region, the white-tailed deer. We're gonna have some breakfast, we're gonna get massages. We're gonna explore the town itself, so should be a fun day. I stayed at the cabins at Cabañas Genda. It was peaceful and quiet and such a beautiful place to wake up to as the sun was rising over the mountains. My first stop that morning was to the church to continue watching the sunrise. The view of the mountains from here was one of my favorites. The color of the sky so clear, and the jacaranda trees were in full bloom. My next stop was to see the white-tailed deer at the conservation center here in Capulalpam. They're fed twice a day, and you can visit at these times of day to help feed them, as well as learn about all of the conservation efforts that are taking place here, including the other animals that call this forest home, as well as the plants that are important to keep this ecosystem going here. After feeding the deer, I headed back to Cabañas Xenda to have breakfast, handmade mamelas topped with refried beans and queso fresco. The final thing I did in Capulalpam was visit the Manos que Curan, the healing center where I enjoyed a hot temazcal sauna and an insanely relaxing massage.
Bienvenidos sean a este su espacio, Manos que Curan. Pues nosotros pues somos una organización de mujeres quienes estamos al rescate, pero sobre todo a la preservación de lo que es realmente nuestra medicina tradicional.
The rest of the afternoon was spent stopping at some fun destinations in the mountains as we made our way slowly to Oaxaca City. The first stop along the way was to the famous Mirador de Cristal, one of the largest glass walkways in Latin America and a stunning viewpoint out over the mountains. It was 100 pesos, or about $5, to walk out on it. You have to take your shoes off, perhaps so that they don't have to clean it as often, and then you walk out along this slightly moving walkway, bounding with the wind, not quite as much as a suspension bridge, but close enough for me not to love it. After that stomach turner, it was time for lunch. We stopped at a local restaurant along the mountain road where they made us some beautiful hot chocolate, and then I ordered some trout cooked with hoja santa and mushrooms. Conveniently located right next to the restaurant is the gallery and workshop of the people who make the majority of the tools that are required to make that frothy hot chocolate. The tool is called a molinillo. You might already know that here in Oaxaca, chocolate is an important thing to have. Hot chocolate, made here. They use a special tool to make the hot chocolate, and we're at the place where they make that tool. And again, only a few people can make it because you have to use a specific type of wood that doesn't have any sort of taste or smell so that it doesn't affect the chocolate. So let's learn how to make one, maybe make our own. This road trip has been amazing. From the arrival in Veracruz, through the fascinating Mil Islas, and the truly magical magic town of Capulalpam, and all of the little stops in between. The Northern Sierra has stolen my heart like so many places in Mexico continue to do. My next stop is Oaxaca, where I'll do a bunch of cool day trips before staying put to explore the city for a few final days. I can't wait to share more of this incredible state with you. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you next time.